Francisco Herrera presenta
One week's holiday, far too short to have a good time or even to discover an island. This is what most people think.
You're absolutely right. Unpacking, sunbathing, birdwatching, packing, flying home, done.
Look, Willie, it can be done in a different way, and we will soon prove it with Michaela. She has won the first prize in a contest, 1 week's holiday in Tenerife.
A very good morning. Are you Miss Michaela?
Yes, that's me.
Welcome to Tenerife. My name is Rudolph. I hope you enjoyed your flight.
Reina Sofia. Nice name for an airport.
In this case, it's even a royal name. The airport is named after the Queen of Spain.
It is about 8 miles from the airport to Playa de las Americas. To make the trip a little more interesting, Rudolph plans to make a detour.
A detour? Ha!
Willie, stop using your reputation as the island's spirit. Rudolph shows Michaela El Medino, or more precise, the attractions of this lovely fishing village. At about a half a mile's distance, there is a sweeping natural sandy beach for safe bathing, and also a hotel that caters particularly to windsurfers. Anyone indulging in this sport will find conditions ideal all year round in the Bay of El Medino. Only to fly is more beautiful. After dropping Michaela at her hotel, Rudolph makes sure that she receives the keys to a nice apartment and makes an appointment with her for the same evening. He would like to present to her Roger BENEDICT, a singer who has been living on Tenerife for many years.
Muy bonito. It's great.
This is a nice hotel, isn't it, Willie?
May I move in with my stuff?
I guess you heard that from Eddie Murphy. This hotel is one of many very, very beautiful places in Playa de las Americas, a city almost like Las Vegas, born from the desert sands. In a sense, Liz Taylor and Richard Burton were the first plot speculators in this area, and, according to their nationality, this coastal stretch was called Beach of the Americans. Way back in 1965, there was not much more than a stony, barren desert, cacti, a couple of banana plantations, and a few small natural beaches. In 1969-70, tourism began to gain a firm hold over this area, so don't expect to find any ancient buildings or typical Canarian influence, unless the constructors had occasionally incorporated this style into their modern buildings. On the other hand, this city offers you all you ever wanted, whatever entertainment or leisure activity interests you: parks, long beaches of dark natural sand, bars, cafes, discotheques, restaurants, souvenir shops, an international casino, biggest aquatic entertainment of the Canary Islands, the Octopus Park, karting tracks, cactus plantations, tennis courts, and of course every variety of aquatic sport. Tenerife is divided into 3 microclimatic areas. The south, with Playa de las Americas, has a subtropical desert climate with mild winters, and that means sunshine 12 months a year. As was planned in the evening, everyone meets in the hotel bar. Those who know the island for years confirm that it has much more to offer than only sunshine, sand and sea. Michaela is very interested, so it is decided to make a trip round the island together.
Just like in very old times. Los Cristianos, when your white island fairy sings, she takes 1,000 wishes away into infinity. He was a fisher from Gomer.
Las Cristianas is one of the oldest fishing villages of the south, bordering directly on Playa de las Americas. People say about the south of Tenerife, and in particular about Las Cristianas, that it has the healthiest climate in the world. This mild subtropical climate attracts more and more people every year who who not only feel much better, but can cure their ailments partially or even completely. This old fishing village, in the meantime, turned into a still-growing tourist resort, also owes its popularity to its ferry connection to La Gomera. An excursion to that should be suggested as a day trip.
Just like in very old times. Los Cristianos, when your white island fairy sails, she takes 1,000 wishes away into infinity. Now she's standing at the harbor, the look of longing in her eyes. She dreamed of sailing with him only, but her dreams have surely died. For us her fate has been decided, and her luck has been denied. But she sends all her longing behind the ferry through the night. Los Cristianos, when you're at island fairy sails, she takes 1,000 dreams away, just like in very old times. Los Cristianos, when you're at island fairy sails, she takes 1,000 wishes away into infinity. Los Cristianos, when you're at island fairy sails, she takes 1,000 wishes away into infinity.
Guagua Verde, the green bus. That's how the Canarians call their buses. You too can get comfortably anywhere you want to go without the necessity of a car. Even if you don't speak the language, you'll easily find your way around. The main direction is indicated on the bus, and stops are marked on the timetables inside and outside the bus.
Guagua Verde. I prefer flying.
Hello. Did you easily find your way up?
No problem at all. Hello.
First of all, I'd like to show you something really interesting. Adeje is situated at the entrance to the Barranco del Infierno, which means the Hell's Gorge. In reality, it doesn't deserve a name like that. It's a wood-covered gorge through which a small river runs, and it ends at a waterfall. It's an hour or maybe 1.5 hours walk.
Fantastic. A real waterfall in this kind of landscape.
You're right. It's a rare thing in the south. The Lord Mayor of the municipality of Adeje, which Playa de las Americas, among other places, is part of, says hello to Michaela on the central square, where he presents to her the famous Adeje School of Folklore.
Are there any special places of interest in Adeje?
En Adeje está usted en uno de los municipios con el mejor clima del mundo, en el que además de disfrutar de una excelente oferta hotelera y de ocio, pues puede usted también disfrutar de nuestras magníficas playas, conocer también nuestro patrimonio cultural, como puede ser, le sugiero, la iglesia parroquial en la que hay importantes obras de arte, o la Casa Fuerte, que es una fortaleza tradicional del siglo XVI y que está vinculada al origen de nuestra tierra.
Guia de Sora, Santiago del Tedo. You can hardly remember all these names.
The route will be unforgettable. The road has been completed only 3 or 4 years ago. Nevertheless, it's still rather hazardous. 10 years ago, there was hardly any road at all, and Masca, the place we are going now, could only be reached on a footpath, exactly like the ancient pirates did.
Is there electricity in Masca?
Electricity, telephone, television, everything has been supplied a couple of years ago, but you'll soon notice that time stands still up there.
Yeah, nobody's ever bothered to clean up around here for 100 years. There's not even a raven around here either.
Masca, mountain village, Masca, high up in the mountains where dreams come alive. Masca, mountain village, Masca, the time has no importance and happiness arrived. His name was Pedro, he was a Guanche. He invited us to his pirate home.
Masca. They say it was a traditional refuge for pirates, which has been proved by its inaccessibility until far into the 1970s. At that time, the first paved roads were built, but only a few years ago were they properly developed. And even today, it is an exciting and rather adventurous enterprise to go to Masca by car or by coach. For hundreds of years, Masca was self-supporting. The few things that its inhabitants did not produce or harvest themselves were laboriously brought up on narrow footpaths and mule tracks. Only very few new buildings were erected, and these almost exclusively to lodge the flood of tourists that have been streaming in since the mid-80s. Our recommendation? There's a small museum of household and agricultural utensils from the last 300 years. Once you've found that, you'll have discovered the soul of Masca too.
Our heart of freedom came over us so very soon. As the sunset in the sea, the flowers greet the moon. Masca, mountain village, Masca, high up in the mountains where dreams come alive. Masca, mountain village, Masca, the time has no importance and happiness arrives. Masca, mountain village, Masca, high up in the mountains where dreams come alive. Masca, mountain village, Masca, the time has no importance and happiness arrives. And happiness arrives.
Masca is so mysterious and dreamlike, you feel placed into a different time. It makes you want to stay here forever.
Oh yes, but I've got something else to show you, something very special to finish the day, which is really effective when the sun is going down.
Los gigantes, great majestic stones stand in a sea. Los gigantes, gigantic is the whole bay around me. Los gigantes, wild and romantic sandy beach, and your beauty out of reach. And the old fisherman told the story from a forgotten world, and we feel the longing in this lonesome song. And he gives to understand that a long, long time ago this song his father has known. Doña María, cariñosa María, bonita María, watch over me, I light a candle for you. Doña María, cariñosa María, bonita María, that I can find in the night the way back to my home, the way back to my home.
Los Gigantes is the name of these giant cliffs. They rise almost vertically from sea level up to a height of 300 meters, towering over the fishing village of Puerto de Santiago. Below these cliffs, the town of Los Gigantes was built anew with a little sandy beach and a marvelous marina. With its whitewashed houses, it appears almost unreal in this rough landscape. That's how the analogy of a white pearl in a rough shell was coined.
Los gigantes prevails. Doña María, cariñosa María, bonita María. Watch over me, I light a candle for you. Doña María, cariñosa María, bonita María. That I can find in the night the way back to my home, the way back to my home. Gigantes, great majestic stones stand in the sea. Los gigantes, gigantic is the whole bay around me. Los gigantes, wild and romantic sandy beach, and your beauty out of reach.
This is amazing. After yesterday's landscape, I never would have expected to see forests like these.
You'll be even more amazed the further we get to the north. By the way, this region is called Villa Flor, just like the small town, the highest in Tenerife, at the entrance of the Cañadas, and from there on the scenery changes completely again.
But this reminds me of a lunar landscape. You could shoot a science fiction film here. These are the Cañadas, aren't they? I've read that they have a diameter of 10 miles.
That's correct. And in their center, the peak of Mount Teide. Mount Teide, the majesty of the Canary Islands, and Spain's highest mountain, measuring exactly 12,266 feet. On a clear day, you have a fantastic view from here overlooking the entire Canarian archipelago. By bus or by car, you comfortably reach the valley station of the cable car at an altitude of 7,800 feet. From there, you're taken to the top within 10 minutes to a height of 11,700 feet. The last 100 yards, I'm afraid, to the crater opening, you'll have to walk. If you have a weak heart, you should avoid the trip to Teide because of the thin air. The same applies to the impatient because sometimes you have to queue for the cable car for up to 3 hours. Our advice? Take your time, walk around the fantastic lava landscape, the Cañadas.
High in the sky, rocks made of ice. Down in the valley, beaches and nice. Woods and deserts, flowers and sand. This is your kingdom, this is your land. 1,000 years in your hands. Paradise that never ends. Pico, 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 Teide. 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 Mount Teide, wise as now. Come to this island and see how 7 roses in the sea, and 7 roses are calling me. Pico, 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 Teide. 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 La orotava, la orotava. Don't you know about the green, green valley? This is La orotava. And when I walk through the flowers, then I sing with my guitar. Don't you know about the green, green valley, where 1,000 flowers bloom? And I capture in my feelings all the beauty so well known. Flowers decorate the house, and everything looks in repose. And when you look across the sea, you can see the Palma Island. Don't you know about the green, green valley? This is La Orotava.
La Orotava is the name of the place which, like Puerto de la Cruz, is situated at the heart of the Orotava Valley. The Orotava Valley has an expanse of about 70 square miles and is one of the most charming and fertile regions of our globe in the north of Tenerife. Here, Tenerife's famous roses are grown, fire begonias and bright red Christmas stars delight the eye. It would take far too long to list the flora of this valley, and only at the Fiesta of Corpus Christi can it be guessed where the natives conjure up the legendary flower carpets for the Corpus Christi procession, creating the most exquisite floral pictures on the streets of Orotava. How fertile this valley is can be judged from the fact that potatoes can be harvested 3 times each year. Alexander von Humboldt, the famous traveller, fell to his knees in 1799, overwhelmed by such beauty. He described his impressions as follows. I can only compare this site with the Gulfs of Genoa or Naples, but the Orotava Valley excels them both by far, due to its expanse and the variety of its vegetation.
And when I walk through the flowers, then I sing with my guitar. Don't you know about the green, green valley, where 1,000 flowers bloom? And I capture in my feelings all the beauty so well known. Don't you know about the green, green valley? This is La Orotava.
You surely have heard something about the ancient dragon tree on Tenerife?
Yes, of course. It's supposed to be more than 3,000 years old.
In fact, that's what people used to believe. But in reality, according to recent investigations, it's probably about 1,000 years old. But I think even that is extraordinary.
And that's where we're passing by now. I can't wait to see it.
A 1,000 years, who lives that long? 1,000 years, who can stay that young? 1,000 years, poetry and ballads sung. Dear millennium, I pay you tribute with my song. You are the tree of trees here. For those who come and those who've gone, dear millennium. The 1,000 years have passed you and maybe even more. To us it seems forever, for you a moment gone before. And there are people of all ages that wonder at your feet. They are astounded and confounded, and more visit you each week. And 2 lovers saw you once and swore forever to be true, and the promise ne'er lost the magic given them from you. Dear millennium, I pay you tribute with my song. You are the tree of trees here, for those to come and those who've gone. In the 16th century, this was one of Tenerife's most important harbours. At the beginning of the 17th century, the town was almost totally destroyed by a volcanic eruption. On the cold lava layers and the ruins of the former town, the actual Garachico was reconstructed. The attraction of this place are 2 beautiful sea water pools shaped by the volcanic eruption. let's go to Puerto de la Cruz.
Just where they like to be. Ask the old moon what she wants to see. Ask the sun where he likes to shine. Ask my heart of the water cry. Just a little city by the sea.
Puerto de la Cruz, once the port of Orotava, is today the best-known tourist resort of Tenerife's northern coastline. That once rich merchants had their residences here in Puerto, as well as in the town of Orotava, can be clearly seen from the pretty and sumptuous architectural style of villas, parks and gardens. Balconies and balustrades, hand-carved from Canary and pinewood, red-tiled roofs and patios superbly provided with plants and fountains. The botanical garden was established 300 years ago, mainly to acclimatize tropical and subtropical plants for European conditions. It still exists today with an incredible abundance of all kinds of species, together with the Loro Park, which in turn is well known for its dolphin and parrot shows. It's one of the many principal attractions of this lovely city. Apart from that, Puerto has developed an extraordinary atmosphere due to its mixture of select shops and Oriental-style bazaars. The old Hispanic, but also the Oriental touch, blends in a most appealing way with the reality of a modern, well-planned tourist metropolis. Puerto only possesses 2 small natural sandy beaches, but this disadvantage was soon overcome by the construction of one of the biggest and prettiest swimming installations of the world, the Matianes Lakes, located immediately alongside the promenade.
Las olas de Bahama, yo quiero esta canción. Las olas de Bahama. y ellas existirán en la eternidad. Contarán de países lejos, de barquitos.
All around the island, but in particular in the north of Tenerife, you find a number of small villages and towns that don't have bathing facilities at all, let alone a sandy beach. This, of course, is due to the ruggedness of the coastline. Baja Mar sets an example that the sea can be manipulated to a certain extent. Seawater pools were built that are automatically filled and revolved by the waves. The Baja Mar waves perform a wonderful show to be enjoyed from the pool and also from the sea walk. Let's not forget to mention that Baja Mar also is a paradise for skilled deep-sea divers, since it became known that there are plenty of ancient shipwrecks at the bottom of the sea yet to be discovered.
Siempre son la verdad y ellas existirán en la eternidad. Contarán de barcos de oro, de la ciudad debajo del mar, los delfines que se buscaban y su amor al retornar. Contarán de su nostalgia, una pareja ya son, que aquí están en casa en la costa de Baja Mar. Las olas de Baja Mar, sonido e inspiración. Las olas de Baja Mar, yo quiero esta canción. Las olas de Baja Mar siempre son la verdad y ellas existirán en la eternidad. De las olas nacen cuadros y los puedes ver. Cierra los ojos, cógelos y vas a entender. Las olas de Baja Mar, sonido e inspiración. Las olas de Baja Mar, yo quiero esta canción. Las olas de Baja Mar siempre son la verdad y ellas existirán en la eternidad, en la eternidad.
Now it's a little bit cooler than in Baja Mar.
We're approaching the rockiest and at the same time the oldest part of the island from a geological point of view.
The Yanaga Mountains?
Indeed, you're pretty well informed. You can almost compare it with the Scottish Highlands, a rough, jagged mountain landscape covered with a lush green. And down there is the village, Taganana.
It's said that the best wine of the island comes from here.
Now you really take me by surprise. And it's said to be the oldest town of the island.
I didn't know that.
And down below, there's the former capital and seat of the island's university, La Laguna. La Laguna has preserved its character as an old Hispanic town, dominated by colonial-style buildings from the 16th and 17th century up to present day. Elegant patrician houses and aristocratic manners still testify to its former significance. The average temperatures here are 5 to 10 degrees lower than on the coast, so the town is used by Spaniards as a summer residence. The town's main feature, however, are its students, clear evidence of the importance of its university.
Listen.
What?
No, I mean, is the radio on? I can hear music.
Oh no, there are a couple of people in the forest singing.
Come on.
Sure. I had hoped it, but I didn't expect it. If I'm not mistaken, you'll now see one of the most famous folk groups of the island, the Sabandeños, Los Sabandeños.
tocando guitarra, bandurria y requinto, timbrillo y laúd. Todos cantábamos isas, coplas y estribillos rumbo a Santa Cruz. Se armó fuerte pelotera cuando desde Agulo saltamos a Vía. Luego fuimos a Tuineque, de Azopa a las Breñas con rumbo a Tafila. Que tenderé, de Almería se armó. Nunca se vio una parranda mejor que la nuestra de pleno aterror.
En el barrio de Vegueta estaba la perejila. En el barrio de Vegueta estaba la perejila. Siguiendo a Roque Moreno para darle una folía. Siguiendo a Roque Moreno para darle una folía.
Ya de madrugada subimos al teide en el dedo de Dios. Cantamos unas polillas a las 7 islas en tono mayor. Llegamos desde Canary bailando saltonas por el Bocanal. Cuando salió Valentina con Sebastián Ramos, Rosita y Cabral.
What we're doing now might be a sort of detour, but I'd like to show you the Teresita's beach from above.
Is that the beach with the golden sand?
Exactly, that's the one, the only one on the island. All the others have black or dark sand.
What a shame. Just now the sun's hiding behind the clouds.
The sun will soon come out again, and then you will see the sand and the water glare.
What's this place called?
San Andreas, an old fishing village. Try the fish here, very good and not expensive at all. Look, the sun's coming back. The sand, by the way, comes from the Sahara. It isn't blown over though, it was carried here by ship. Okay, off we go to Santa Cruz. In Santa Cruz, Michaela and Roger meet the chairman of the tourist department, Don Ricardo Tavillo, in charge of public relations, the presentation and organization of tourism in Tenerife.
Santa Cruz. Y este es el señor presidente del patronato de turismo. ¿Ya?
Sí, bueno, estamos en la capital de la isla, de una isla que realmente está dividida en dos partes importantes para el turismo, el norte, Puerto de la Cruz sobre todo, y el sur, que ofrecen dos atractivos muy importantes. Pero yo diría que Santa Cruz, en este caso, como capital de la isla, ofrece también el compendio de lo que es toda la isla. Es decir, hospitalidad, buen clima, playas, cultura, música y digamos que por encima de todo el aliciente de ser una ciudad mágica porque ofrece lo que es el carnaval el Carnaval de Tenerife, que está considerado como el mejor de Europa y posiblemente, después del Carnaval de Río, el segundo mejor carnaval de todo el mundo. Y pienso que ese es un gran atractivo, no solamente de lo que ofrece la ciudad como turismo y para el turismo, sino también ese carnaval importantísimo para todos, que es una muestra desde luego de lo que es esa hospitalidad y ese savoir-faire del isleño, de la persona de Tenerife respecto a los clientes que nos visitan.
But the best is yet to come. Don Ricardo is a man of magic, a magician.
Mágico como el propio carnaval.
Santa Cruz, modern capital and international port, the second of the Canary Islands behind Las Palmas. The town was not founded by the native Canarian population, the Guanches, but in 1494 by Spanish conquerors. The city looks back on so many historical events and incidents that it's a fantastic excursion into the past to visit its monuments, ancient buildings, or its museums. A good opportunity to do your shopping. You'll find in the numerous duty-free shops around the Plaza de España and Plaza de la Candelaria. However, you should compare prices carefully. But it is during the carnival that this city really comes alive. Experts in this matter affirm that the Santa Cruz Carnival is no less impressive than the one in Rio de Janeiro. Many Canarians spend a great part of the year preparing imaginative and extravagant fancy dresses to be sported in the carnival. The numbers who attend show clearly the popularity of the carnival. In 1988, 250,000 people danced simultaneously on the Plaza de España, a fact that was acknowledged by an entry into the Guinness Book of Records.
Did you know
that bananas are the foremost product of export of the Canary Islands? Tenerife alone produces more than 220,000 tons of this small and tasty fruit every year. One of the biggest areas of its cultivation is the Orotava Valley, but also in the south there are huge plantations. Climatic conditions, which are so important to grow bananas, are entirely fulfilled, and there is plenty of water. The quality of the Canarian banana is superior to that of its overseas competitor. It has a high rate of nutritiousness, and although smaller than other bananas, the taste makes up for the size. Do you know what a papaya is? If you don't mind drinking alcohol, you should make the acquaintance of the papaya fruit. There's no better protection of the stomach or the liver than this wonder fruit. Did you know that on one of Teidi's neighbouring summits, the Itzanya, with its 7,900 feet altitude, is home to one of the most important solar observatories of the world. The sky here is covered by clouds only 23 days a year, providing ideal conditions for its purpose, outstripping by far any other place on this planet. Since 1969, Spaniards and Germans collaborated. The telescope comes from Germany, serving mostly to examine the so-called cellular structure of the Sun. The aim is to obtain information about magnetic processes in the central star of our planetary system. That the island is of volcanic origin, you did know, didn't you? But did you also know that subterranean caves were formed when the island was born? These are called galleries and serve as the island's water reservoir. Originally, they had a length of 600 kilometers, but were later extended by man to 800 kilometers. Only Tenerife and its smaller neighbor La Palma possess these natural water deposits. Did you know that Tenerife has 3 water producers? Number 1, rainwater. Number 2, the snows from Teide. And number 3, the Canarian pine tree, Pino Canario. This unique and most important tree of the island absorbs up to 20 liters per day, according to the size of the tree, from the high humidity of the air. First, it supplies itself, and then passes the rest on to the soil and the galleries.
Did you know that there are still camels?
Come on, everybody, 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 come on, everybody. I'm gonna sing my song. It won't take long. We're gonna do the twist. We're gonna do the twist. We're gonna do the twist, and it goes like this. Come on, let's twist again, like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again, like we did last year. Do you remember when things were really humming? Yeah, let's twist again. Christmas time is here.
There is a miraculous story hidden behind Candelaria. It sounds like a fairy tale, but in a way also contains a grain of truth. In the 13th century, some Guanches found a wooden figure in a cave to the left of today's church, representing the patroness Candelaria. The Guanches, heathens at that time, but ready to believe in miracles, were terribly frightened at first, but soon afterwards credited her with miraculous powers, adored and worshipped her. How had this happened? Today it is believed that a Portuguese ship sank in a storm. The figure came unfastened and was washed ashore. A monastery that was built in this place with an altar for the patroness was carried away by a spring tide, and along with the monastery disappeared the original figure. In 1830, an imitation was created which can still be seen in the basilica and is the patroness of the
Canary Islands.
Extiende tu abrigo encima de las islas. Extiende tu abrigo que quieren ser tus hijas, hey, padrona Candelaria, padrona Candelaria. Traída fue de la mar en una tempestad, la maravilla llegó, en la cueva entró, a la costa perdida llegó, de un barco que naufragó, fija. Patrona Candelaria, patrona Candelaria, patrona Candelaria.
What's happening now? Did the lights go out or what?
Willie, aren't you romantic at all?
You shouldn't say things like these. It hurts me too.
How much? Do you think does it hurt Michaela to have to fly home?
Yeah, but she'll come back, won't she?
I'm positive. I'm sure about it.
Adiós, adiós, adiós Tenerife, adiós Reina Sofía, adiós Tenerife, adiós Reina Sofía, abajo la isla, arriba el cielo azul, vacaciones terminarán, recuerdan hermosos días de amor, sueños nunca acabarán, aunque nos despedimos, porque esta isla no la olvidaremos. Adiós, adiós, adiós Tenerife, adiós Reina Sofía, adiós Tenerife, adiós Reina Sofía. Pasando en el cielo un punto de luz, un avión que nos llama para empacar, equipaje y nosotros en el autobús que nos lleva ya.